Hello students, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jagdeep. In this video series, we are learning about market structures. In our previous video, we talked about how perfectly competitive markets would end up making normal profits in the long run. This video shall focus upon price and output determination for monopoly. So without wasting any time further, let's get started. So before we move on to the price and output determination, let's take a look at what are the features of a monopoly or the characteristics of a monopoly. So monopoly is a market situation with a single dominant seller. Monopolists are price maker, that is, they get to decide their own prices. There are high barriers to entry, that means potential firms cannot enter the market as easily as they would under perfectly competitive markets because a monopolist would not let them enter, and hence the single dominant seller. Another feature is a monopolist can either control the price of the commodities that he is offering up for sale or the supply, but not both. A monopolist would have a downward sloping demand curve. Unlike perfectly competitive markets, where the demand curve was a horizontal line parallel to x-axis, here the demand curve would be a downward sloping curve. Now in this schedule, we have output going up from 1 to 7 and prices falling down. Let's calculate total revenue. If you've been following this video series, you should be aware of how total revenue is to be calculated. Still, I would write down the formulas somewhere over here in the middle. So total revenue is calculated as price times output, which is basically the multiplication of these two columns. Let's calculate that. So it's 10, 18, 24, 28, 30, 30 and again 28. Average revenue is calculated as total revenue over output or quantity. So in this case it is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 and 4. If we remember, AR is also equals to the price, correct? So if we pay attention, these two columns are similar. Marginal revenue is calculated as change in total revenue over change in quantity. Marginal revenue would be 10 in the first output level, the second output level, the difference between these two, which is 8, then difference between these two, which is 6, then the difference between these two, which is 4, the difference between these two, which is 2, then here 0 and this minus 2. Now if we pay attention to the average revenue and marginal revenue figures, they both are falling, but the rate at which marginal revenue falls is much faster than the rate at which average revenue falls. If you do not understand how these two are related, you could take a look at the video where AR and MR are talked about separately. I should link it up somewhere in the video as well. Let's take a look at the diagrammatic representation. Students, if this topic feels challenging, why not join one of my online tutoring sessions? We could dive deep into concepts, and I'm already working with students across countries like UAE, Qatar and Singapore. You can reach me directly at the number on your screen. And don't miss on a 30-minute complimentary session. Let's take a look at the diagram now. On the y-axis we have price and revenue, and on the x-axis we have output. I will not be using the numerical references for making the diagram, but if you still want to take a better look and understanding at how the curves are behaving, you could use the reference of the table and draw the diagram while pausing the video. As we have seen, average revenue and marginal revenue, both curves are following right from the beginning, but the marginal revenue curve falls at a faster rate. So this is how we would plot both the curves. This is the average revenue curve and this here is marginal revenue curve. Now since we saw that marginal revenue became 0 and then it went on to become negative, so here marginal revenue is 0 and here it is negative. Now, how do we identify which is the profit maximization level or price and output level for a monopoly? So, for that we would need a marginal cost curve. So let's add costs as well over here, and we know that the marginal cost curve is a U-shaped curve. So let's just plot that as well. Let us say this is marginal cost. Now the profit maximizing conditions are marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue, and marginal cost cuts marginal revenue from below, correct? So this equity happens somewhere over here. So to determine the output and price, all we need to do is drop a perpendicular from this point down to the x-axis. This is the quantity, and this same to be extended up till it touches the average revenue curve, and from here you drop a perpendicular on the y-axis to get the price. So this is the price P, and this is the quantity Q at which a monopolist would be maximizing his profit. Now whether a monopolist would make normal profits or supernormal profits, is there a difference between short run and the long run time frame? Is there a difference between firm and an industry under monopoly structure? Is something that we will take a look at in the next video. If you found this video helpful, please consider using the thanks button below. Your support is crucial for creating more high quality and free content for students like you. Thank you for all your support. Also, if you find learning through long videos daunting, you could follow me over my Instagram channel. I shall meet you in another video. Until then, bye now. Take care.